Hey everybody, you ready to really dive deep into the world of streaming today? We're gonna be tackling that YouTube TV price hike
Oh, yeah.
to $82.99 a month, a move that's got a lot of people talking and a lot of people upset.
Yeah, a lot of folks heated.
We've got a fiery Reddit thread from Star Television and an
Yeah.
article from The Wrap to kind of guide our discussion today. So let's figure out why this happened, what it means for you as a viewer, and maybe even glimpse the future of television itself.
Well, that's quite the price tag.
Yeah.
I can understand why people are reacting so strongly online.
Yeah, absolutely. The Reddit thread's a roller coaster. Like, a lot of what we're seeing is just like pure sticker shock,
Yeah.
Especially when you consider the journey from that $35 launch price back in 2017
Oh, wow.
to where we are now.
Yeah, 137% increase is definitely going to raise some eyebrows.
For sure.
Maybe even blood pressures, too.
Yeah.
It really highlights this whole thing, this phenomenon of enshittification,
Uh-huh.
which is a term that's been coined to describe how these services start out really cheap to reel you in.
Right.
And then they steadily increase the price
Yeah.
once they've got you hooked.
It's like they're playing the long game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You get comfortable with the convenience and the features, and bam, suddenly you're paying almost double what you signed up for.
Yeah, and you're kind of stuck at that point.
Yeah. Well, let's get specific. There's one user, Boof Tongue, claims they were promised a grandfathered price only to be hit with the increase.
Oh.
And they were given just a measly 1-month credit after complaining.
Ouch.
Not exactly building trust there.
Or not at all. It's a tactic we've seen before in other industries, too. Think about airline baggage fees or those introductory cable packages that just balloon after the first year.
Right.
The question is this a sustainable model?
Yeah.
Will consumers eventually hit a breaking point?
Well, a potential breaking point might already be here. The elephant in the room, or at least according to many Reddit users, is that NFL Sunday ticket deal.
Okay. Yeah.
Next TV is estimating that YouTube will lose over $1.2 billion on it this season.
Billion.
That's billion with a B?
That's a lot of touchdowns to make up for.
A lot of touchdowns.
Yeah.
It really does suggest that YouTube might have overpaid, and now those costs are being passed down to the consumer.
Yeah, makes sense.
Wolfhound27 on Reddit puts it bluntly, they just think YouTube didn't negotiate a good deal. And then you have users like Diddy733 who just want to watch their own team's out-of-market games.
Sure.
They're being forced to buy the entire Sunday ticket package.
Oh, jeez.
Which seems ridiculously unfair.
Yeah, it does seem a little unfair.
Yeah.
It brings up this interesting point, though, about bundled services.
Yeah.
Gravelot chimed in on this and said that even single-team packages wouldn't significantly lower the price.
Really?
Yeah, the value they argue is in watching your team, not just random out-of-market games that you wouldn't normally care about.
And get this, Gravelot also pointed out that Sunday Ticket doesn't even include all out-of-market games.
Oh, wow.
So you're paying a premium, and you still might need other streaming services to catch everything.
Ouch. Talk about adding insult to injury.
I don't know, right?
Yeah.
It really highlights the complexity of these licensing agreements and how they impact us, the consumer.
Absolutely. But, it's not all doom and gloom in that Reddit thread.
Oh, really?
Some people actually see value in YouTube TV even with the increase.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So Spoon Manners 2, for example, praises YouTube TV's reliability compared to their experience with DirecTV.
Interesting.
And Capono24 loves the interface, says it's smooth and easy to use.
Yeah, it is a good interface.
So it seems like the user experience itself isn't the primary issue for everyone.
But I was going to say those positive comments are often countered by just pure frustration over rising prices.
Oh, for sure.
While content is being removed.
Yeah, you're paying more for less.
Little Sweet 5 sums it pretty well. They're paying more for less regional sports networks. Channels like MLB Network have been dropped, and users are feeling the pinch.
Yeah, that's true. And then you have those people like McClure, who just get bombarded with Sunday ticket ads, even though they have zero interest in the NFL.
Yeah, I saw that comment.
It raises the question about, targeted advertising and whether these platforms are truly understanding their users' needs and preferences.
Yeah. Are they really giving us what we want?
Are they?
Some users are just throwing in the towel completely. Here for the comments, 57 went back to using an antenna.
Wow.
Says it's way more cost effective.
Interesting. So are we seeing a resurgence of older technologies as a response to, these rising costs and complexities of streaming?
It makes you wonder what this all means for the future of television.
It does. It feels like a turning point.
Yeah.
Some clinging to streaming, others seeking out, simpler solutions.
What's the bigger picture here? What does this price hike really tell us about the industry as a whole?
Well, it's certainly not an isolated incident. YouTube TV's move kind of reflects a broader trend we're seeing across the streaming landscape.
Makes sense.
Think about the content providers themselves, like the ESPNs of the world.
Right.
They're constantly upping their fees, putting pressure on these streaming services to pass the cost down to you, the viewer.
That's exactly what Jadarius and We Want Ladder 49 sequel were talking about. It's this chain reaction that ends up impacting our wallets.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and Peon 2 reminds us this isn't unique to streaming.
Oh, right.
Cable TV has been struggling with this for years.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a systemic problem with the television industry as a whole.
So we're stuck in this loop. Cord cutting leads to higher prices, which leads to more cord cutting. Jadarius called it a race to the bottom.
Yeah, it's a concerning pattern, and it prompts this bigger question: are we destined to repeat this cycle of, these expensive bundled services regardless of the technology?
Yeah, it really makes you wonder.
It does.
Are there any alternatives? The Reddit thread did mention Hulu Plus Live TV, Sling TV, Fubo, even some more creative solutions.
And those creative solutions, as Beardley has pointed out, often lead you to places like the website TroyPoint.
Interesting.
Which offers information about IPTV services.
Yeah.
We won't delve into the specifics here.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating how some viewers are exploring these alternative paths to access content.
It's like a whole underground network dedicated to television. It highlights the level of frustration people are feeling. Are we being pushed towards less traditional, less well-sanctioned options?
It's a valid concern. But let's circle back to those mainstream alternatives for a second.
Okay.
What are the pros and cons there? What are the Redditors saying about these options?
That's a great place to pick up when we come back. We'll dive deeper into those alternative services and see if they offer any hope for the future. So stay tuned. All right, so we've established that YouTube TV's price hike has, sparked a lot of debate.
Yeah.
And some folks are looking for, escape routes.
Right.
Let's explore those mainstream alternatives. Hulu plus Live TV, Sling TV, Fubo, and see if they offer any solace.
Yeah.
What are the folks on Reddit saying about these options?
Well, it's a mixed bag as always.
Okay.
Hulu plus Live TV is often brought up as, a close competitor to YouTube TV.
Right.
Similar price points, similar features.
So you're not escaping those rising costs.
You're not really escaping those rising costs.
Yeah.
No. But some users find the interface to be a bit clunky.
Really?
Compared to YouTube TV.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what about Sling TV? That seems to be the go-to option for those budget-conscious cord cutters.
It is, but with a caveat.
Okay.
It's definitely more affordable.
Right.
But you are sacrificing channel selection.
Okay, so you might end up paying less,
Yeah.
but also missing out on some of your favorite shows.
Exactly.
Parts.
It really depends on your priorities.
Yeah, for sure.
As a viewer.
It's all about trade-offs, right? Lower price, fewer channels.
Right.
More features.
Yep.
Higher costs.
Exactly.
What about Fubo? That one seems to be gaining traction, especially with sports fans.
Fubo is definitely the sports-centric option.
Okay.
They offer a wider range of sports channels.
Right.
But it can get pricey, especially if you start adding on the extras, the international sports packages and things like that.
So great choice for the diehard sports fan.
Absolutely.
But maybe not for the casual viewer.
Yeah. If you're just casually interested, probably not the best option.
So no matter which way you turn,
right,
it seems like you're either sacrificing affordability or content.
It seems like it.
It begs the question, is there any streaming service out there that really understands what viewers want?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Are we doomed to be nickel and dimed, constantly juggling these subscriptions?
Yeah.
Just like we did with cable.
Right. Remember those early days of streaming, with the promise of freedom, choice, affordability?
I know.
It feels like we're drifting further and further away from that vision.
It does.
It's almost like we traded one set of shackles for another.
Right.
We're still at the mercy of these content providers who dictate the prices and fragment the content across multiple platforms.
It's enough to make you nostalgic for an antenna.
I know.
Speaking of antennas, we saw that Herefore the Commons 57 made the switch back, finding it to be a more cost-effective solution.
Yeah.
They're not alone. There's a growing movement of people who are just disillusioned with this whole streaming landscape and are seeking out these simpler, more affordable alternatives.
So what can we do? Is there any way to, like, push back against this trend? Isajin on Reddit believes that collective action is the answer. They suggest that if we all just stopped subscribing, maybe these companies would be forced to reconsider their pricing strategies.
The streaming revolution.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea, but realistically,
Yeah.
it's unlikely to happen.
Right.
There are too many players in the game, too many competing interests.
But the sentiment is there, though.
Oh, absolutely.
People are tired of feeling powerless,
Right.
bombarded with ads,
Yeah.
despite paying these hefty subscription fees.
Yeah, it's like we're stuck in a system designed to just exploit our desire for entertainment.
The comments from Kobek and Hytrix really capture that frustration. They feel like they're being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And, they're not wrong.
They're not.
And then there's this feeling that the content itself isn't even worth the price anymore.
Right.
Boner79 pointed out it's not like the quality has drastically improved.
Yeah.
If anything, we're just oversaturated with options,
Right.
making it even harder to find something truly worthwhile.
It's the paradox of choice.
Yeah.
We have more options than ever, but we're less satisfied.
So what's the answer? Do we just accept the inevitability of ever-increasing prices and this fragmented content?
Well,
I refuse to believe that that's our only option.
I agree.
There has to be a better way.
There has to be. There's always room for innovation and disruption.
For sure.
Maybe this growing dissatisfaction will fuel, some new, more consumer-friendly models.
Okay.
Models that prioritize transparency, choice, and affordability.
Now, you're talking, what would a truly revolutionary streaming service look like?
Well, imagine a service that actually listens to its users.
Okay.
And offers like customizable packages.
Oh, wow.
Tailored to, your specific viewing habits.
Interesting.
No more bloated bundles.
Okay.
Just the channels and shows that you actually want.
That sounds amazing.
And imagine a service that prioritizes transparency in its pricing.
Okay.
Clearly outlining the cost of the content.
Right.
Their profit margins.
Huh.
Maybe even offering a breakdown of how much goes to each content provider.
Now, that would be a game changer.
Right.
No more hidden fees. No more surprise price hikes.
Exactly.
You'd know exactly what you're paying for and why.
Exactly. And what about the user experience?
Yeah.
Imagine a service that really champions a user-friendly interface.
Okay.
Free from these intrusive ads.
Yeah.
Even for non-premium subscribers.
Yeah.
A service that respects the viewer's time and attention.
It almost sounds too good to be true.
Right.
A streaming service that actually values its users.
It might sound idealistic.
Yeah.
But I believe it's achievable. The technology is there,
Mm-hmm.
and the demand is definitely there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of shifting the focus from these profit-driven models to truly consumer-centric ones.
It all comes back to that enshittification concept that we talked about. Are we destined to repeat the same cycle?
Right.
Or can we break free and demand better?
I think that's the question we need to be asking ourselves.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think the future of television really does lie in our hands.
I think so, too.
As viewers, we have the power to choose where we spend our money and our attention.
Absolutely.
And by voicing our dissatisfaction, by supporting these innovative alternatives, we can shape the landscape of entertainment.
I agree.
So what does this all mean for you, dear listener? It means being informed.
Yes.
Being critical and being vocal. Don't just accept the status quo.
Yeah.
Explore your options. Consider those alternatives.
Right.
And let your voice be heard.
Let them know how you feel.
Yeah. Because in the end, this is about more than just watching TV.
It is.
It's about reclaiming control.
Absolutely.
Over our entertainment, our time, and our wallets.
Well said.
This has been quite the deep dive into the YouTube TV price hike and what it means for the future of streaming.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're leaving with some new insights, maybe even a bit of hope for a better streaming experience down the line.
One can only hope.
Until next time, happy streaming.
Happy streaming, everyone.